What started is I saw an article on Barstool Sports where Dan Katz, Big Cat from Barstool Sports, was writing about this. I think he's been going after J.J. Watt about social media for a year or so, and Dan joins us now. Is that how long this has been going on, Dan?
It's been a couple of years. I would say that I don't know if it's something I should be proud of, but I am the preeminent J.J. Watt social media hater probably on the internet right now.
What first bothered you?
You know, I think that it's very tricky. You guys had a great discussion. You have to add an element of self-deprecation into your social media game. You can't be the guy who's always at the gym. I think, obviously, Twitter is a cynical place. You know, you guys had Jim Nantz on a couple of weeks ago. He was talking about the cynicism that's all over Twitter. People don't like people who are always happy, always, you know, I woke up this morning and I wanted to go to the gym and I wanted to save lives. People have bad days, and not being able to show that element, I think, becomes disingenuous and obviously looks kind of fake.
So you did want to go to the gym and you did want to save lives in that order. Is that what you're saying, Dan?
I never want to go to the gym, and I always say that I never want to go to the gym. So that helps my social media game.
Do you think that J.J. Watt truly believes in what he is sharing with you as it's real and you know, it comes from a good place?
So that's really the million-dollar question here, because I do think he's obviously a very good guy, and that's not what the discussion is. We're not saying J.J. Watt's a bad person. He's obviously a very good person. The question is, does he think that, you know, telling everyone – the perfect example is the Kobe Bryant game the other night.
Yep.
When he Snapchats at 10:30 at night that he's at the gym, not to make it about himself, and then he points out that he's not making it about himself and that it's really Kobe's night, even though he was the one who told us that he was at the gym at 10:30. So it's a very weird dynamic with him, and I do think that just kind of showing a little bit of a human side, I don't know where he can get that. I've actually told him that he should do a video with me. We'll take off our shirts and flip some tires because I got the fat body, and he's obviously probably has 4% body fat. But something that shows a human side would go a long way for him.
So you've engaged with him. How did he respond?
We had probably the most passive-aggressive subtweet off I think I've ever seen on Twitter. He was not. He's not a fan of mine. Obviously, the irony of it, the whole thing is, I'm a University of Wisconsin grad. So if anyone should like J.J. Watt, it should be me. But yeah, hopefully we're going to do something. You know, a video or something together. And I told him we humanize people. We'll show them in a different light. But it's a tricky spot for him. I also noticed you guys were talking about the sunsets. The key for a sunset is you have to use the black and white filter, because everyone uses filter on sunset. So you take the black and white filter, you put it on the sunset, you can't see the sunset. That's how you make fun of yourself on social media.
Seton, are you writing that down?
Black and white filter.
I did that. I throw a nice sunset, and I'll make it black and white, and everyone will get mad. Like, we can't even see the sunset. Well, that's the point. So maybe that's all J.J. Watt has to do.
Well, he's not, and it's not just J.J. Watt, because the more popular you are, the more people are sharing what you put out on social media. If, DeAndre Hopkins puts something out, not many people are going to be picking that up the way they do with J.J. Watt. But it's like Russell Wilson. I think Russell was kind of teetering on the brink of doing the same thing. Look, I get it. Ciara's beautiful, and you want to share your pictures, but whatever happened to those pictures being shared by the two people in the picture and not everybody else?
Absolutely. Russell Wilson, the distinction I've made, Russell Wilson's a goober, and J.J. Watt's more of a tryhard. So that's the line between them. But Paulie and I have talked about this before, and Paulie kind of told me that the Hard Knocks show obviously was kind of a tipping point because HBO, J.J. Watt's a star. They made the show very much about him. They showed him nonstop. And when you do something like that, and it's supposed to be a team sport, and it's all J.J. Watt all the time, people start noticing, and they start, looking at it a different way.
But Tebow was doing this before J.J. Watt was, where he's running.
Yeah, but Tebow stunk. That's the thing. You can't. I mean, Tebow stinks at football. So if you're bad at football and you have that, issue, people looked at Tebow and they said, okay, well, he's maybe a little bit of a tryhard, but he can't throw a pass. So he's not perfect. J.J. Watt wants you to believe that he's perfect, and he's perfect on the field, and he wants you to believe that he's perfect off the field as well.
Okay, which athletes use social media in the proper way?
So this is a little biased because I do consider them friends, but Chris and Kyle Long, I think, are the perfect case. They, Chris usually goes back and forth with fans. Kyle actually plays video games with fans. I think those guys are very approachable. They're normal, and they don't take themselves too seriously, and they can make fun of themselves. And that's really what it comes down to is we want to be able to see athletes. We want to see the human side. We want to see, we know that you have friends that probably bust your balls from time to time. Let us see that. Let us see you have a night where you don't go to the gym and maybe you go to the bar or something like that. Let us see a little bit of that. Maybe not all the way to the Rob Gronkowski side, but there's somewhere in the middle that people can, athletes can reach, especially in this day and age.
Dan, thanks for joining us. Keep stirring it up.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Love the show.
All right. That's Big Cat from Barstool Sports.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.